Nothing we say is investment advice. Please pause on all 3 pages of this disclaimer and read it. Good morning, everybody. It's Cowboy here. Give me a second to share the screen. Apologies for being just a little bit late. I had a call that I just had to take. Sometimes these things happen, and it's okay because we actually had some data come out. It's always good when data comes out to let it play out, see what the data does, and see if there's a way to trade it. When the data first comes out, and I mean economic data, I mean announcements that are normally made that you know are coming, right? There's going to be a little bit of volatility in the market. Not always, usually always a little bit, but you don't know what it's going to do, right? So we're going to take a look at what that data says real quick, right? So let me just flip over to that screen. Give me one moment. Okay, so it's unemployment data, Thursday the 29th, unemployment claims, and it just happened about 10 minutes ago. And I'm guessing it's relatively mild because the charts didn't do a whole lot. Yeah, it's like almost right as expected. So there was an expected amount of 206 unemployment claims and there were 209. So that's not going to affect the charts very strongly, okay? So let me go ahead and give me a second. I'm going to flip back to the charts and we're just going to see what's going on today, whether or not there are any opportunities of which we can take advantage, right? So if you have any questions, go ahead, leave them in the chat and we will try to answer them for you. And yeah, not much happening in the charts at all from that standpoint. Now, the big moves actually happened on the Sunday open and Monday morning, right? Especially here at the USD JPY. If I were to zoom out, going back to last Friday, and then through the, Friday was a massive move down, dollar got weak, the JPY got strong, and it was an insane move. And metals, which is really what this particular episode might be about, the metals chart we're going to go ahead and take a look at right now, gold in particular, really actually gapped up in the middle of the afternoon, which is kind of rare. There's a big gap up and a big panic in, and just the charts are saying this is going to continue up. Now, it did touch 56,000. It blew through 5,000 like 5,000 didn't even exist. Gold really didn't give a flying F about 6,000. So now I actually have some gold targets and that we've seen a bit of a pullback, if you will. And I'm comfortable with targets being at 5680 and 5800. Those two targets, 5680 and 5800. Those are two decent targets for, gold, like for the traders, just gold continuing up and moving to those levels right now. Of course, everybody was thinking that gold might take a break at 5,000, and 5,000 is an important round number. Now, once gold or anything breaks like the 5, okay, let's say it this way. Let's say gold was at $100, right? And if it breaks 100, the next number everybody looks at is 200. And everybody looks at the round numbers up until 500. But when it breaks 500, people stop looking at like 600, 700. They look at 1,000. It's kind of like, it's not exactly that, but that's kind of where the change happens. Some people will look at 600, some will look at 7, but all of a sudden people really start looking to the next like level of 10, which is instead of 600, they're looking at 1,000. Well, that's where silver is now, by the way. It just broke 100. It's at 120. So people are probably looking at 200. But gold, having broken 5,000, it may not stop until 10,000. Or it may not get tired until somewhere near that. Now, we have no idea. It might just like go down today. Like there's no way to know the future, but just seeing how things behave, what we know about the world, I would expect predictably in the next like day or two, week or two, anytime between like, the end of today and the end of next week, I would be very, very not surprised to see gold head up to 5,800, 5,798 to be precise. So that's like a gold target. And why is this happening? I know a lot of people want to know why. I mean, we've covered this enough on all of our shows and everything else. The world is very uncertain right now. So like what's going to happen with Iran, what's going to happen with Ukraine, what's going to happen between Russia and China. And you've got Japan, and Japan has dissolved their parliament, which a lot of people think is a prelude to some kind of war. Like, there's just a lot of uncertainty happening right now. And you have the president sending a battle carrier group over to Iran. You had the Venezuela thing. You've got a lot of things happening in Latin America that we're not talking about. And when you just have this level of economic instability, political instability, you have people moving away from the dollar to go into their own currencies because they're panicking. There's a lot of people wanting to hide in metals. And the large players see precious metals not as a way to make money, but as a way to freeze their wealth, as a way to say, okay, because they're not looking at in the terms of dollars at this point. They're looking at, okay, I have all these holdings and the dollars I'm holding are actually depreciating very quickly. So how can I put my holdings somewhere that doesn't depreciate, right? And that's what they're doing. And precious metals is one of those vehicles. There are others. Some people are putting it into their own currency as a kind of a more liquid way to do it. But that's why metals are going up. It's just a lot of people are concerned. Now here's silver. I drew this chart on Tuesday, and it's following kind of the middle of all those paths. I thought it would either explode up or kind of go up. So it was just like several different ideas that I'm just kind of deleting two of those ideas. This is not one of those. This is actually, this bottom arrow is a prior prediction that more or less came true, as you can see, right? So out of three ideas, one of them was really, really close. Very, very close to what happened. And it was kind of the middle path also. Now that this is broken out of here, we can consider some targets to the upside as well on silver. I'm going to use the Fibonacci tool. We'll look at the most recent extension. And we're going to go to here. And 125 and 134. So 124, 134 are good targets for the traders. As far as like physical metals are concerned, I don't think those are going to pull back anytime soon. I could be wrong, but I don't think they will. And all my algos are calling for a move up right now. So I would expect silver to be at 135 anytime between, today and maybe the end of next week. Now, everything pulls back at some point, right? But just the way the world is going, whatever pullbacks we do see, I think will be pretty minor. And, but I don't trade by just saying, hey, I think this is going to happen. Like, I have entire algorithms, I have entries, I have exits. It's all mechanically done. I'm just giving you an idea of which way I think the wind is blowing. Okay. So how I would trade this is different than how I would talk about it. Right. And I don't think I would enter this trade just yet. But if I were to look at this from a trading standpoint, this is actually not a bad setup, because you have what was effectively a consolidation, a range, a bullish pattern where you have these. Let me delete this prediction there. You're having these you're having higher lows here. You're having the same kind of highs, more or less. Not, more or less the same highs. And then up from there. So that being the case, that's what we're looking at, right? We're looking at a move up in that regard. So, if I were to trade this, I don't know that I would. I mean, it's not a bad trade. I'm not in this trade. I'm just designing an idea here. So, I wouldn't say, hey, we never tell you what to trade. So that's investment advice. We don't give that. But it would look something like this, probably, right? You got to break out. Current price is at 119. I might wait until 120.80, just get past this little hump right here. I'd have a stop loss a little below some of the structure right here. I'd have it more precise than I've drawn it, but that's a 3-to-1. That means that if I were to put in $1,000 here and it went up to that price, I would pull out 3,000. It's pretty nice game to play right there. I don't see any requests in the comments, and now we are about, are we 10 minutes in? Yeah, we're about 10 minutes in. So we're going to take a look in the private live lab. We'll look at like Bitcoin. We'll look at the Forex pairs. We'll look at anything that people want to see in there. That's what we do. And what's really cool about Algo Factory is we teach people how to build their own trading algorithms. So if you could see on the screen these little tabs, you can see them. You have this green one there, red one there, red one there, green one there, green one there. Well, this green was a winner. Told me to go along right there. If I had traded it, I would have won. This red, I might have lost that actually. That's a tricky one. And they don't always win, but they win more often than they lose, and they win bigger than they lose. This red right there is a winner. This green right here is a big winner. And this green, maybe it wins, maybe it doesn't. But that's my algo. I built it. I paid someone to code it, although nowadays you could probably just use AI. And I have a video that shows you how I actually build the algos. Actually, it shows you literally how to do it. And if you go into the description, you'll actually see that video, right? There's a link to it. And if you click that link, it'll give you access to the video, and you can see how it's done. You can also see through that video how people connect their broker so they can trade when they're not there. So click that link. All you got to do is give us an email. We'll give you access to that video. And for now, I want to thank you all for watching. Sorry, I got a little distracted. The market is now making some pretty exciting moves in the Forex area. So I'm going to look at a possible Forex trade here. Yeah, maybe I'll just have to do this. Is that EUR USD? What is that? Yeah. See, that's the JPY. Yeah, it might be time to trade this. Let's take a quick look. I'll do this while we're live. This is not too different than to the Euro trade that I won in the private live lab like Tuesday. All the private guys got to see me take a trade and win it, which is great. I love to, have wins. What would this trade look like if I were to take it? Probably have a take profit above here. Let's see. Yeah, take profit there. I am not in this trade just yet. I'm going to try to get a better entry than this, but the trade will look like this, I think. So that's just an idea for a trade. And again, I'm going to be watching the algos real carefully. I have something I want to see happen before I actually take that trade, because I think we're going to see it pull a little bit up first. But that's a trade I might be taking here pretty soon. So thank you all for watching. Link in the description, get your free algo. And as we move on here, never forget,
join us or die.
Just kidding, you're not going to die. We love you, and we'll see you on Tuesday. Keep an eye out for the Monday video. I'll try to get out on Monday and not Tuesday next week. This week was just complex. It is what it is.